So it's one that you can win, you know. So
no, that is one we can win. Well, I think it's a win in the fact that even if we get the and we have gotten it to the House, and we make a big deal about this House session on auditing the Federal Reserve, because the mainstream media is not going to make the big deal. The way we're going to get this out is by taping it on C-SPAN and putting it on the web and letting it go viral on YouTube and having a campaign to all our senators and saying, hey, I don't want to hear excuses that you didn't see this, or a campaign to other congressmen. I don't want to hear that you didn't see this, or a campaign to your state senator and say, I don't want to hear that you didn't see this. Okay, and because this is just going to be fodder for the Obama Deception 2 and further Patriot films, but we can make it so much more. I mean, let's shock the world. Let's get this through the House, then let's get it through the Senate, and let's make Obama veto it and show what a demon he truly is. Let him show his true colors.
Yeah, we can't win on both sides, but one reason I called, I'm not really clear on this water bill, and the second thing I'd like you to comment on, or maybe do, I'd like to know if you could make up a list of all the buzzwords like you were just talking about, sustainability and what it really means. Yeah. Maybe like the top 10 or something like that.
That's a good idea. Sustainability is like their new buzzword. Green, carbon dioxide, smart grid is another one of their little buzzwords or buzz terms.
Is infrastructure one of them?
Infrastructure kind of is. New World Order is obviously their biggest buzzword, but that's kind of frowned upon in this country. It's more of a European term now, even though it kind of did. I mean, I don't want to say it totally emerged in Europe, but there were books on it out in Europe back in the 1700s. It made its way over to the States. H.G. Wells wrote a book about it. Hitler picked up on it, did a whole chapter in his diaries called The New World Order. Obviously Bush was a big promoter of it, so was Kissinger. But I think the Kissinger was in the 70s promoting a New World Order. It will be in my film Invisible Empire. I'm going to take you through these people talking about it openly, and then even some of the backside players, the guys that really didn't use it that much, but every once in a while, so like a Bill Clinton would use the term New World Order. I've got him in the run-up to his first election to the presidency, where he's like, George Bush has invoked a New World Order without giving the nation a new purpose. And he's always talking about 1,000 points of light, and then he'll go on, one of these think tank programs or one of these, college presentations where he's like, New World Order is a term that George Bush used a lot and I used from time to time, and I think it's a good thing. And now Clinton is really trying to be even more relevant, holding these little meetings at his house, the Clinton Foundation. He doesn't want to just be, the two-term president that everybody loved. He might be the first global president. People talk about Barack Obama. People like Clinton are still power hungry. People like Tony Blair are still power hungry, and they're enough in the public eye that they could always prop them up as their next little, talking points guy. He can read a teleprompter just as good as Barack Obama. I promise you that. I thank you for the call.
Super slick.
He is super slick, my man. James in New York. James, you're on the line.
Yeah, hi, Jason. I have something more of a statement. I've been following this. I was introduced to this 32 years ago. Mm-hmm. So I've been reading this stuff for a long time and watching this. And these people, from my understanding, what I see, and anything I say is my own opinion, they're prepared to take 2 steps forward and 2 back.
Mm-hmm.
1 back.
1 back, not 2 back.
That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
But the point being, I listen to these shows, I listen to these people that, and I'm not saying it's smugly, but, they've been introduced to this 6 months ago. Oh, boy. Oh, my God. This has been going on for a long time. It's nothing new. Mm-hmm. It's just progressing now to the point where, I wonder what the answer is. All this trying to, a guy called in last night. I heard him talk, and you didn't agree with him about
it was the Second
line.
Amendment. Yeah, the hard line, Second Amendment. When do we actually stand up and fight?
That's right. And guys will say, like, I'll hear Alex say, like, when they come to my house, I'll do this and I'll do that. No, you won't, because when they come to your house, they're not going to come alone, and that's going to be the end of that.
Well, you know what? That's why
you're not going to be able to.
Well, I agree with you. I agree with you, and that's why on this show and my previous shows. Well, let me explain. That's why I show and I warn people. MTV put out 2 commercials last year. I don't know if you saw them, but it was basically a family sitting at home doing nothing, and then all of a sudden, Troops in black uniforms kick in the door. They clear the house in less than 10 seconds. They throw people on a truck where the neighborhood is absolutely getting
you're not going to do
rounded up.
anything.
Well, that's what I'm warning people about. Don't let it get to that point where it's okay to have these troops.
How do you stop legislation alone?
Well, you know what? We have to put. All right, I'll tell you how you stop it.
I'm not a violent person. I don't want violence.
But don't you agree? But James, don't you agree? At some point, right now,
you ever read Gulag? But with Solzhenitsyn?
Are you talking about Gulags USA?
No. Alexander Solzhenitsyn. He's dead now.
No,
he wrote a book before the Russian Revolution. He said, here's what he said. He said if they would have took axe handles, I'm just quoting him, okay? And when they came to the house to get them, they would have beat the crap out of them, right? They would have known that some of them were not going home themselves. And it might have prevented what happened. He spent quite a long time. He died in Vermont, but he was a writer. He wrote a famous book, and I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's an older book, but in any event,
listen, I'm with you on so many levels. Let me just say that, James. You know, I'm not against us standing up for ourselves. Let's see how the population takes this swine flu thing. Let's see if we go until we let our kids get vaccinated. Because to me, that's a time to take a hardline stance and say, no, you're not coming into my home to give me a death shot, whether it's a slow death or a quick death. I thank you for the call. More calls on the other side. 866-582-9933.